Hey, it's Frank Rumbauskas here from nevercoldcall.com, and I wanted to take a few minutes here just to tell you a little bit about LinkedIn and why it's so important for you to be using LinkedIn. Now, over the course of the past 2 years or so that I've been doing my paid webinar series, by far the absolute best-selling webinars have been the LinkedIn webinars. On top of that, the most positive feedback has come from the LinkedIn webinars, with people going so far as to say they're generating all of their leads, all of their sales from LinkedIn. They don't have to do anything else. In fact, I am a member of a private invitation-only networking group here in Dallas. Business owners, very high-earning salespeople, difficult to get into, limited to 25 people. It's a real mastermind group. None of us pay to be in it, so it's not one of these groups you see advertised on Facebook where you have to pay to be a member of a so-called mastermind. It's the real deal. And one of the key components of our group and key focuses is LinkedIn, making sure that we're all using it effectively, and as a result of that, kind of works both ways. By getting better at LinkedIn, the people in the group are more successful, but most of the people in the group are very successful to begin with because they're using LinkedIn properly. So I've got some notes here, so bear with me as I read from paper, and I'm going to organize this into a PDF report. Nice brief couple of pages, but it's really good information to know about LinkedIn. About why you need to be using it. And that's my purpose today. I'm not here to sell you anything today, that'll come later. But I am here to explain to you why you need to be using LinkedIn, because so many salespeople are not, or worse, they sign up for LinkedIn, they set up a profile, they connect with their friends, and then that's where it ends. They're not generating business from LinkedIn. They're not proactively finding the hot prospects who need what they're selling, and on the other side of the coin, the prospects who are searching for what they're selling are not finding them. And these are all things you can do very easily on LinkedIn. So first of all, why do you need to be on LinkedIn? Well, as of now, there are over 200 million members. So that's just a number, but think about this. Google, not LinkedIn, not Google, LinkedIn, if this makes sense, is now the largest business-to-business search engine in the world. So B2B search engine. So Google's the largest search engine. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, believe it or not. Amazon, as a new statistic I just learned, is the largest product search engine in the world. So when people are searching to buy a product, they're no longer doing it on Google. Amazon now owns that market. It is the quote-unquote search engine for products. Likewise, LinkedIn is the search engine for business to business. No matter what you're doing in B2B, and to a lesser extent even B2C, people find their mortgage brokers, their insurance brokers, their realtors, all these things they're finding on LinkedIn by salespeople and agents who are using LinkedIn properly. Executives from every single Fortune 500 company are on LinkedIn. Think about that. Those are huge prospects. No matter what you sell, there's somebody in a Fortune 500 company that could buy it. Those companies are all on LinkedIn, and those executives are all on LinkedIn. Over 2 million companies just in the US alone now have LinkedIn pages. And that may not sound like a big deal. Okay, so a company has a LinkedIn page. It's a big deal to you because as a LinkedIn member, there are techniques that I've taught in my webinars that I will teach shortly in the future, very near future, in a new LinkedIn course, that show you how to go and find the proper decision maker in companies that you want to target, connect with them on LinkedIn, and make the sale. And in fact, in my online marketing consulting firm, we do that. My people go to LinkedIn, they'll find a company they want to target, they find an in-house online marketing person, they'll find out who the CMO is, the Chief Marketing Officer, VP of Marketing, Marketing Director, whatever the case might be. It's a very simple step-by-step process to make the contact on LinkedIn, to make the introduction, and then, of course, get offline because 90% of business is closed in person. Online and LinkedIn are just to get the lead, get the prospect, and then you take that offline and you make a sale. So it's really a big deal that over 2 million companies, just in the US alone, I'm not even talking about UK, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, places like that where there are tremendous amounts of business that have company pages on LinkedIn. Talking a little bit about salespeople and social media, in a recent email I sent out, and in case you missed it, I announced that the long-awaited Never Cold Call Again social media selling system is off the table. It's gone. The reason I'm doing that, very simply, is because social media overall doesn't work very well. And so, to put it bluntly, social media is bullshit, and that's actually the name of a best-selling book that's on Amazon right now. I learned that the hard way because I decided that's what I'm going to call my next book, because people are realizing that social media is BS, but unfortunately someone beat me to it. But what it comes down to is when someone contacts my marketing firm, ROI Media, here in Dallas, Texas, and says, we want to do social media for our company, they don't want to do social media. What we find out is they want to do online marketing, but they ask for social media because that's a big buzzword right now. And I've got a very detailed presentation that I give when I speak to business organizations, when I speak to chambers of commerce and Rotary clubs and whatnot, explaining why big companies like GM and there's some of the other ones, PepsiCo, Costco, they're not doing social media. Some have tried it, it failed. They're just doing traditional online SEO, search engine optimization, pay-per-click marketing, email marketing, and of course, old school offline marketing like direct mail and things like that. But as far as salespeople go, LinkedIn is where it's at. So really, with Facebook, you can only do so much. Twitter, for me, is just a glorified syndication tool to send my blog posts out to different web properties. Not a lot of business really takes place there. And quite honestly, the only people who are really making money with that kind of social media are the people who are selling books and products, telling you how you can make money with that type of social media. The truth is, it's not really happening. The money is being made on LinkedIn. Money is changing hands on LinkedIn. Billions of dollars in sales are taking place every day on LinkedIn. So you've got to be a part of that. So I've got some stats here. This was in a recent article in Forbes about salespeople and social media. So the first stat here, 78.6% of salespeople outsell their peers who do not use social media. So of the sales reps who are using social media, more than 3/4 of them are outselling salespeople who do not use social media. Even more surprising, those ones who are doing it have 3/4 have had no social media training. So first of all, you got salespeople using social media. More than 3 out of 4 of them are outselling salespeople who don't have social media. But the irony is most have had zero social media training. The ones who have had good training in social media are just killing it. Their sales are exploding absolutely, completely through the roof. Like I said, if you stop fooling around on Facebook, even Facebook business pages, Facebook fan pages and all that, company pages, they do have an application, but LinkedIn is it. LinkedIn is first and foremost. And so that's why I said I can't with a clear conscience sell a social media selling system. I can't go out with a clear conscience and go out and sell a product for $97 or $197. I don't know what the price is going to be yet. I'll decide that in the next week as we roll it out. But I'm not going to sell people how to use Twitter and how to use Facebook and how to use Pinterest and all this, because there's really not an effective application for getting sales with that. The sales are happening on LinkedIn. Like I said, there are people who paid a measly $29 for my LinkedIn webinar, and they've been able to replace everything else they've been doing with LinkedIn, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. That was a very small amount of content compared to what you're going to see in the LinkedIn selling system. So what I'm going to do is take all the information I've told you today, along with some other tidbits and facts about how effective LinkedIn is, put that into a PDF report, email that out to you, and then I want to talk about one big problem before I go with LinkedIn. In the research I had done through the presentations I give to organizations and chambers and other groups, one of the facts that came up, there's a marketing firm in Australia that did a comprehensive survey of small and medium-sized business owners and then top-level executives of enterprise, large companies. And they said, what are your most liked and most disliked forms of cold contact by a salesperson? So no surprise at all, cold calling was the most disliked form of contact by a salesperson. But a very big surprise, the number 2 most disliked form of contact by a salesperson is LinkedIn spam. So LinkedIn's a double-edged sword. When I did a recent LinkedIn webinar, somebody typed in the chat box, why do you have 775 unread messages in your inbox? Are you not checking your messages? Well, the truth is I do check my messages. They forward to my email inbox, but the vast majority are spam. There are people who connect with me on LinkedIn just to try to sell me something, and that's not how it works. So if you think that's how you're going to do business on LinkedIn, you're wrong. And as that marketing firm survey showed, you're going to be no better than a cold caller in the eyes of your prospects. So it's very, very important to not only use LinkedIn, but more importantly to know how to use it properly so you don't piss people off and you don't come across as a spammer or a cold caller. So if you want to find out how to get around that, go ahead and fill out your name and your email address. I know you're already on my Never Cold Call Again list. That's how you got this video. But I don't want to keep sending you LinkedIn videos if you're not interested. So if you'd like to get my next video that I'm going to send out in 2 or 3 days that talks about how to use LinkedIn without being seen as a spammer, then go ahead, sign up for that separate list. I'll put that video together, send that out to you along with this PDF report that I'm going to type up to talk a little bit more about LinkedIn. Even if you're not interested in the LinkedIn selling system, it's more than the value of typing in an email address to get this PDF report that I'll clean up a little bit so it doesn't quite look like this with scribble and a paperclip on it, along with my next video on how to use LinkedIn but how not to be seen as a spammer. Because just like cold calling kills your credibility, many salespeople are falling into the trap of misusing LinkedIn, and that's irritating people and aggravating decision makers and causing them to have the doors closed when they should be opening those doors with LinkedIn. So go ahead, type in your name and email address below to get that next video and the PDF, and I will talk to you in a couple of days. Thanks.